The world is full of miracles. But we usually don't even think about the incredible things that surround us. Sometimes we hear about them, but we don't even know what they look like. So we decided to reveal some previously hidden things. Here are the 15 things you've probably never seen before. Deep Blue, the computer that beat a human at chess. IBM's Deep Blue made history in 1997 when it became the first machine to beat a reigning world chess champion. A research team led by IEEE senior member Murray Campbell and Feng Xiang Xu developed the machine. Kasparov accused the IBM team of cheating its way to victory. In reality, though, scientists had been interested in programming a computer to play chess since the late 1940s, according to an article on IBM's blog about Deep Blue. It took years for engineers and computer scientists to perfect the artificial intelligence program that would one day beat a world champion. Deep Blue's story began in 1985, when Xu, then a Carnegie Mellon graduate student, started working on his dissertation project, ChipTest, a chess-playing machine. Xu worked with Campbell, who was a research associate at the university, and graduate student Thomas Anantharaman, an IEEE member, to develop ChipTest. Xu and Campbell later joined IBM Research in Yorktown Heights, NY, in 1989. The duo continued developing a chess-playing machine, but this time with other computer scientists working on the Deep Blue project. The final version of the machine consisted of two 2-meter-tall towers, more than 500 processors, and 216 accelerator chips designed for computer chess, according to a paper Campbell and Xu wrote about Deep Blue for the Artificial Intelligence Journal. Point Nemo. Point Nemo is officially known as the oceanic pole of inaccessibility, or, more simply put, the point in the ocean that is farthest away from land. Located at 48 degrees 52.6, S 123 degrees 23.6, W, the spot is quite literally the middle of nowhere, surrounded by more than 1,000 miles of ocean in every direction. The closest landmasses to the pole are one of the Pitcairn Islands to the north, one of the Easter Islands to the northeast, and one island off of the coast of Antarctica to the south. Clearly, there are no human inhabitants anywhere near Point Nemo. The name, Nemo, itself is both Latin for no one, as well as a reference to Jules Verne's submarine captain from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. In fact, the location is so isolated that the closest people to Nemo are actually not even on Earth. The astronauts aboard the International Space Station are around 258 miles from their home planet at any given time. Since the inhabited area closest to Point Nemo is more than 1,000 miles away, the humans in space are far closer to the pole of inaccessibility than those on land. The world's darkest material. If you're not familiar with Vantablack, it was invented by British researchers back in 2014, and soon after, it was declared the darkest material ever produced in the lab, capable of absorbing 99.96% of ultraviolet, visible, and infrared light. Since then, the team behind the invention, from Surrey Nanosystems, has upped its blackness, and in early 2016, announced that no spectrometer in the world was powerful enough to measure how much light it absorbs. Even running a high-power laser pointer across it barely reflects anything back to the viewer, the researchers explain in a YouTube video. We have never before made a material so black that it can't be picked up on our spectrometers in the infrared. In order to make this thing more marketable, the team has now released a spray-on form, which isn't quite as black. It only blocks 99.8% of ultraviolet, visible, and infrared light, but that's enough to make three-dimensional objects appear distinctly two-dimensional. The most expensive metal in the world, palladium, is now the most valuable of the four major precious metals, with an acute shortage driving prices to a record. A key component in pollution control devices for cars and trucks, the metal's price doubled in little more than a year, making it more expensive than gold. It's a lustrous white material, one of the 6 platinum group metals. About 85% of palladium ends up in the exhaust systems in cars, where it helps turn toxic pollutants into less harmful carbon dioxide and water vapor. It is also used in electronics, dentistry, and jewelry. Partly. Since August 2018, hedge funds have increased bets that prices will rise. Yet palladium for immediate delivery trades at a premium to material for delivery later, suggesting manufacturers are scrambling for supply. And palladium-backed exchange-traded funds saw net outflows this year as investors withdrew metal, then leased it to users at lucrative rates. The crowned eagle. Crowned eagles are not the largest eagles in Africa. Martial eagles claim the title, but they are the most powerful. Their legs are thick, and they have a very long talon on each back toe that helps them kill animals more than 4 times their size. Crowned eagles live in the tall woodland forests and rainforests of Africa. They are often seen on Africa's savannas as well. Built for flying among trees, the crowned eagle's wings are short and broad, and its long tail helps guide the bird like a rudder guides a boat. These features allow the eagle to fly easily through the branches. Adult crowned eagles have a dark brown head with long crest feathers tipped in white, a cream or reddish breast with black bars, and wings that are black on the top and reddish underneath. Like many raptors, the female is larger than the male. Crowned eagles are known for their cry. They call out often in a very loud voice. The male's call, kiwi kiwi kiwi, is higher pitched. The adults and chicks both call to each other at the nest, especially when the parents bring food for their young. Crowned eagles live in forests, mountains, and grasslands in southeastern and central Africa. A graveyard for unsold cars. The average person may not be aware of it, but there are graveyards that house thousands of new cars. They look abandoned. They sit and gather dust. So, what's the story? There are hundreds of such lots around the world. In Baltimore alone, there are more than 50,000 rotting cars in one location. Here's why. These cars have gone unsold, and the dealers choose not to sell them at a reduced price. Their reasoning is if they did, no one would buy vehicles at their premium price. The auto manufacturing industry is the first to admit they've backed themselves into a corner. So, what's the end result? Will the auto industry come up with some new plan to sell these cars to a needy public, or will they simply continue to build new models that will eventually go unsold? The Hangna Guest House, or the Crazy House. Hangna Guest House, also known as the Crazy House, is a piece of artwork that really surpasses the limit of people's imagination. The lot has the power to not only romanticize but also inspire people to go beyond their limits. Designed by Vietnamese architect and impressionist Dang Viet Na, this extraordinary building of non-rectilinear shapes has appeared in many international architectural journals and finally made its way to the list of the world's 10 most creative buildings, according to the Chinese People's Daily. The house is located at 3 Win Thuc Cang Street, Ward 3, Dalat City, covering an area approximately 1,600 square meters. Stemming from the need to build something completely on her own, architect Na's house was started constructing in 1990. The construction as well as the process of claiming for possession of this house are both long stories. Started from scratch, there was time that Ms. Na was on the verge of bankruptcy when all banks refused to lend her. It was at this point that she came up with the idea of selling tickets for tourists visiting the house. Moreover, after 18 continuous years and 6 times filing, she has been given the possession of this house, as well as its recognition as a piece of art. Still, she doesn't want to relax at all but is going to add up more constructions, such as a communal house inside the existing area. Chinese curly chicken locals in Henan province in central China spotted this rather funky chicken sporting a very unusual hairdo in their village. The cockerel has now become a big star, thanks to its bouffant curly feathers that make it look like it's had a perm. Hatched in April this year, the black rooster looked quite ordinary in its first months, according to owner Zhang Yang. But its appearance started to change after it molted and it began to grow curly feathers. A brick road. Machine block paving is an alternative to asphalt roads and is typically used on streets with relatively slow traffic, having a better aesthetic effect. However, the process of brick laying is time-consuming as it is done manually and can be quite harsh on the workers' backs and knees. An innovative machine, launched by the Dutch company Vanco BV and named Tiger Stone, can lay various interlocking patterns of bricks simultaneously in a short period of time with much less effort for its operator. The 6-meter-wide device is amazingly simple to operate and is nicknamed Road Printer, due to the way it works. Tiger Stone requires 1 to 3 workers on its platform to fill the machine's slot with loose bricks from the hopper. Next, standing at upright position, the workers vertically put the bricks in the required pattern. This way, the bricks hold better together. Then, as the machine rolls backwards, the bricks are lowered smoothly via a curved ramp on the ground with the help of gravity, and a tamper or steamroller pushes them down to secure them in place. This process of brick laying is much more efficient, with the company claiming that a team can lay about 300 square meters of brick road a day, when a conventional paver lays 75-100 square meters per day. The machine can create brick roads from 1 to 6 meters wide. It is electrically powered, keeping its noise levels low, and the newest version, the Eco, can operate for a week straight on a full charge. Moreover, tiger stone has very few moving parts and thus does not need much maintenance. It comes in varying sizes and accompanying associated prices. Widths of 4, 5 and 6 meters are available and its cost ranges from $80,000 to $110,000 approximately. Lares and Pennants. In Roman mythology, Lares and Pennants were groups of deities, or gods, who protected the family and the Roman state. Although different in origin and purpose, the Lares and Pennants were often worshipped together at household shrines. Lares were considered spirits of the dead who had become divine, and they guarded homes, crossroads, and the city. Every Roman family had its own guardian, known as the lar familiaris, to protect the household and ensure that the family line did not die out. Each morning Romans prayed and made offerings to an image of the lar familiaris kept in a family shrine. Deities known as Lares Compitales, who guarded crossroads and neighborhoods, were honored in a festival called the Compitalia. Another group of deities, the Lares Praestites, served as the guardians of the city of Rome. The Pennants, originally honored as gods of the pantry, eventually became guardians of the entire household. They were associated with Vesta, the goddess of the hearth or household fireplace. The main function of the Pennants was to ensure the family's welfare and prosperity. The public Pennants, or Pennants Publici, served as guardians of the state and the object of Roman patriotism. According to legend, they were once the household gods of Aeneas, the mythical founder of the Roman Empire. Thank you for watching.